All right, welcome back. This is Power Breakfast on Citizen TV. Since it is Workout Wednesday, before we get to the actual workout, we're going to talk a little bit about health and nutrition. My guest in studio today is Lois Macharia. She is the founder of the blog tizzytalks.com and is here to talk to us about why nutrition and health should be a priority in your life. Welcome, Lois.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you have an interesting story because you're an advocate?
Yes.
So tell us a bit about your background and how you got so interested in fitness.
Okay, so when I went to university to pursue my law degree, I discovered a passion for fitness. I went to the gym for my first time about 8 years ago, and I was very intrigued by how people my age at the time were very fit and dedicated to their fitness, irrespective of whatever course they were studying. So then I decided to pick it up, and I taught myself I taught myself about nutrition, about fitness, from subscribing to blogs and YouTube channels, and also reading a lot of material on it. And then once I discovered that nutrition is actually the key to fitness, it's just been a wholesome journey for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you, I mean, growing up, were you interested in this? Were you overweight? How did you, because some people have very personal stories as to how they ended up becoming very passionate about.
Okay, so when I entered first year, I was staying in a catered accommodation, and so all the food was, you had the option of eating junk or just healthy food, and I was always going for the tasty stuff, which was mostly the junk food. And then I added a bit of weight, but I wouldn't say I was big in any way. And so when I came back home, my dad was like, "Oh, you've added some weight." So I kind of got a bit shy about it, and then I decided to try fitness. And so my friend introduced me to the gym, and luckily for me, the gym I was introduced to was a very good gym with very good trainers. And so they were all very supportive about what I want to gain. But then because I couldn't afford paying a nutritionist to help me learn how to eat right, I taught myself everything I've learned.
You became your own nutritionist.
I became my own nutritionist.
So talk to us about your blog, tizzytalks.com. When did you open that, and what was the idea behind what you do there?
Okay, so Tizzy Talks, I started Tizzy Talks in July last year, July 14th of 2017. And the whole essence of Tizzy Talks is to provide a wellness bank for all my readers to be able to find information that they can relate to, that can give them simple tips on how to embrace a healthy lifestyle. Because I feel like sometimes there's a lot of very scientific information that can be a bit saturated. And so mine is just to give people information that's very easy to understand from my own personal perspective.
So are you still involved in your work as an advocate? Is that still something that you're part of?
Yes. I would love to still continue being an advocate, but not in the conventional setting of, working in a law firm per se.
Okay.
My passion is actually in the non-profit field, where as a consultant I normally help non-profits create online campaigns that raise awareness on social issues.
Yeah.
So I'm a very unconventional advocate.
Well, and I'm just thinking, was there ever a time where your family was like, "What are you doing? You're an advocate. Why are you all of a sudden now just interested in all this fitness stuff?"
Thing is, my parents are very supportive, and so they see how excited I get when I talk about wellness. And so it's something that I've showed them that I can still do while also pursuing a legal career. Because I think nobody should put you in a box. You should do what makes you happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so making fitness a priority is a huge problem for many working men and women. We just feel like, I have so much to do, I have a job, I have a family to raise. I mean, where does this all fit in? I don't have necessarily that 1 hour, 2 hours every day to dedicate to this. So what would you say to that person in that space right now?
I would say the first thing is to change your mindset, because by saying that you're too busy, you have this and this to do, you're not making it a priority. So if you try and change your attitude and make fitness a priority, then you'll find time for it. So for example, I used to have a 9-to-5 job when I was working in a law firm, and in order for me to be at the office early enough, I would have to leave home very early to beat the traffic. And then it got to a point where I would get to the office before the office is even open. And so I realized that I have that 1 hour in the morning to fix in a quick workout. It doesn't have to be crazy like CrossFit. It can be just a simple yoga class or a 30-minute spin class, and that's just enough to get you started. And so if you try and do that at least Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you'll end up being more productive in the office, And you might end up loving it so much that you end up doing it every day of the week.
Well, let me talk to you about my problem is that when I start to work out, I'm really psyched in the beginning. I'm going like, every day. And it gets to a point I'm just like, I want to stay in bed. I plateau at some point and I just don't have the motivation anymore.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Just try and remind yourself why you started. Because I'm not always motivated, by the way. In fact, sometimes a whole week, I'm trying to get myself out of bed to go to the gym. But then on those days when I feel like I really don't want to do it, I don't want to go and sweat and have to be in pain the next day, I just remind myself that, fitness is the key to healthy living, but also it's the basis of intellectual and creative dynamic activity. So if you remind yourself that it's part of self-development, then you'll keep doing it. Because the more you work out, the more productive you get.
Just in general, in life,
yes,
like in all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
I've heard you term this as wellness, the whole, thing of it here, but that does include fitness and nutrition is also in there. When you look at us as Kenyans, just generally, what mistakes are we making, particularly when it comes to nutrition habits? What do you see that we're doing?
Very wrong.
Yeah, very wrong.
Okay, that's a good question, and it's something I've tried to address in my blog. So one of the misconceptions of fitness and nutrition in Kenya is that fitness is for rich people. And then that's where you'll find a lot of gyms charging a lot of membership fees. And so someone who wants to try and start their fitness journey will feel like they can't afford it. In terms of nutrition, I would say majority of restaurants in Kenya don't have healthy options. And the ones that have healthy options, like Java with your salads, are not very it's not cost-friendly to some people. So I would say even like a cheapie like Chicken Inn or something, they can easily do healthy options. If you don't want to do the fried chicken, you can do something vegetarian, or you can do a baked chicken, pieces of baked chicken instead. But then even when you go to a normal restaurant and you order like fries and something, you do realize that the fries take up most of the portion of the plate.
For a fries nation.
And then you'll find the coleslaw is like this small, and then a very huge greasy piece of chicken.
So portion size is also
so portion controls and also the oils we use to cook food. So I think most restaurants that people can afford, many of them use solid oil. Which is actually not healthy for you because that has a lot of saturated fat and that doesn't get digested very well.
Yeah.
So when you eat out, you're not very sure of what how the food, the oil that has been cooked to cook the food.
I like that you brought up the cost aspect of it because that's a big concern for many people. Gym memberships are through the roof and getting more expensive and, people just not being able to afford that. So what does that person do? What are the other options of having fitness still be a priority in their life?
You can, there's a lot of information online on YouTube that has fitness routines that you can do from home. And soon enough, I'll be opening a YouTube channel where you'll be able to log onto the page and just do like a 10-minute workout, either for your abs or depending on what muscle you're working out on that day. And so you don't need any gym equipment. You don't need a trainer to guide you through it. It's going to be very simple and straight to the point.
Right.
Yes.
We've seen an influx of the fast food chains sort of making their way into East Africa and to Kenya in particular, and those have become, an option for us.
Yeah.
But, for younger people who are watching this, particularly when I speak with young people, they express the whole thing of like, well, I'm still young, like my metabolism is still okay, like I can afford to eat fries and chicken every day, and I haven't seen any problems so far. But when we talk about wellness in general, we're talking the long-term course, right? About the effects that could come later on in life. Maybe you can speak on that.
Okay, so basically, when it comes to wellness, you have to think about it as a holistic aspect because it's an active process of making healthy choices. And in as much as someone is saying, I'm not too big, so I'm okay to eat what I want to eat now, they have to think about it in the long run as well. And especially for women, a lot of women struggle with adding weight after giving birth. And what normally happens is that if you stay active before you even give birth, it's very easy for you to get your body back. And so I would encourage every woman watching this show right now to just start the fitness journey immediately because the benefits of it point to every aspect of your life in a very powerful way. In fact, the reason why I became so in love with wellness is because I realized that it's actually the key to success and happiness. Because once you train yourself to be productive and to wake up in the gym, to be motivated, it's discipline. So you can imagine if you apply that discipline into your business, into your work, into your relationship, into your family life, you'll just be your best. And once you're your best, you attract positive energy as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like that you talk about, you know, looking at it for the long term, because the more you practice this, the more it seeps into all other areas of your life, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
If I were to visit your kitchen right now, what are some of the staples that you always have in there? What are some of the things you can't?
Bananas.
Okay.
Pineapple, mangoes. So in terms of fruit, I always have Weetabix, oatmeal, eggs, brown bread, a lot of sweet potatoes. So I do complex carbohydrates. Instead of doing like white potatoes, I would do sweet potatoes. I would do ndoma, arrowroot, and I would do pumpkin as well. Just, you know, anything that's closest to its natural state is healthy for you.
Yeah.
Anything that's far from it, like processed foods, like once in a while it's okay to eat sausages and hot dogs, you know, but it shouldn't be an every morning thing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've made that conscious decision of when I go to the supermarket, these are the things I have to get. I have to have these certain things in my house. So also because of temptation, when you buy the processed food and it's just laying around the house, it's very easy to go ahead and snack.
Yeah.
What are the stories that you've seen on your blog? Because I've seen that you talk to different people and they share their fitness stories there. What sort of inspirational stories have you had on your blog that people have talked to you about?
One of the most inspiring people I've interviewed is Anne-Marie Burugu, and she's the co-founder of Vivo. And she is in her early 40s, but she looks amazing. And she says that once she discovered how good she felt after working out, it just became part of her lifestyle. And so she talks about trying to go to because she loved it so much, and now she goes to the gym almost every day. And you know, the thing is, the minimum requirement is 3 times a week. So 3 out of 7 days. But then you realize that you just become this super active person and you end up doing it even more.
You have more energy.
And you have more energy. And so you're just a ball of energy. And so for me, I would love to, in my 40s, I would love to have that much energy, you know, and be featured on someone's blog.
Right. And I think when I think of, you know, Workout Wednesday and people working out and being more active, sometimes it's about people not seeing results. It's about people not doing the right things or doing the same thing for too long and kind of plateauing out, like I mentioned earlier. So when you see the results, obviously I'm going to be motivated to go to the gym tomorrow if I see like I'm starting to have some, you know, definition here and there. But there are people who've been working out for a year, 2 years, not seeing any results. What are they doing wrong?
I think,
who are they not, you know, who's not advising them and etc.
I would say if you feel like you've been doing it for a long time, if you've been following a program and maybe you feel like you're not seeing any results, I would honestly advise you to talk to another trainer and show them what your workout program is like and then ask them for their opinion. You know, just like in law you have the first legal opinion, then you get a second legal opinion, even from doctors as well. So it's the same thing with fitness. If you're really wondering why I'm not getting the abs that I want, or you know, the toned legs or the toned arms, it's good to talk to another trainer and then see maybe where they can advise. Yeah. But other times I would say it mostly comes down to diet. I like to ask people, when they ask me for fitness advice, I like to talk to them first about what they eat in a day, and specifically breakfast. Because once you get breakfast wrong, you get everything wrong. Yeah.
Once you start with the sausages and the eggs.
Oh gosh, you'll end up eating like all kinds of things during the day. Because once you start healthy, it's like setting up your day for success. Right. Because now that you eat healthy in the morning, you want to keep that momentum at lunch, at dinner, and then at breakfast again. So it becomes a cycle of healthy eating.
So it's about deliberate choices that are going to fill you up, but also not, you know, just be empty calories. That you have throughout the day. Well, since you started this journey of wellness years ago, what have been some of the challenges that you faced, and how have you overcome them? Because I'm sure it hasn't just been all like, yes, energy, let's go, let's go, let's go.
So practical things like on my social media, I follow people who are into wellness. I surround myself with people who are into wellness. I hang out a lot more with people who are into wellness. I've also made new friends through the blog that are into wellness. And so it's just nice to be part of a community where everybody supports each other. And then also, I think just being transparent about maybe the days you don't feel like doing it and sharing that with your followers, I think also makes you more relatable. And then when people respond and say, I hear you, but just keep pushing, the followers also really motivate you.
So you have a support system built in there.
Yes, I do.
That can go a long way.
Yeah.
What is the future of TZ Talks for you? What would you hope to achieve in the future with your blog?
Okay. So actually, TZ Talks is a part of a brand I'm building. The brand is called TZ. And so TZ as a brand is a brand that embodies wellness and that promotes a culture of healthy living, but specifically empowerment through fitness. And so I would love to have a chain of gyms in the country with a certain standard that I experienced when I started my fitness journey that's cost effective. I would love for my gym to have a restaurant, a TZ bar, where you can, after you work out, because some people have the trouble of, I have to rush to, I have to make a snack, I have to, have a meeting, I have a show I have to go to. So then, after you work out, you come in and get your quick snack, and then you go to the office. I would also love a shop in the gym where you can come and purchase activewear. And I'd also love a wellness center in the gym where, for example, you think the people who maybe feel like they've hit a plateau, you come into the center and we'll guide you with very highly certified trainers and certified nutritionists as well. So it's kind of like a hospital, but for wellness.
Right, you get the full experience.
You get the full experience.
Awesome, sounds great. I can't wait to see how that develops for you. For people watching, what would be your final comments on this whole wellness journey and making it a priority and how it can improve other areas of your life? Maybe you can just hone in on that point.
I would say that if you want to triple, and this is something I read online, if you want to triple your income, if you want to double your income, you have to triple your self-development. And self-development is taking care of yourself. First things first. You can't run a successful business if you don't look after yourself. And so I would say to them that if they're able to make the connection between, for example, becoming better, whether it's increasing your profits, whether it's getting more clients, just doing something good for your business, I would say triple in your self-development. And the first thing with self-development is what you eat. So have a healthy breakfast and try and incorporate some exercise 3 times a week.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Lois Macharia. tztalks.com. You can check it out. Do you want to share your other social media?
Yes. So you can find me on TZ Talks on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also Lois Macharia on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. We'll check you out. Thank you so much for stopping by Power Breakfast this morning and talking wellness with us. It's still Workout Wednesday, so we do have some dancing coming up here on Power Breakfast. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back after this.